Good morning, everyone. Because this is a Filipino thing, right? Every day is good morning, right? So thank you so much for being here today. First of all, I want to just extend my gratitude to the TWR team. Thank you, Alex, Mitch, then the leadership team and everyone else that has kind of gave me the opportunity to be here. It's exciting. It's my second time here in CDO. The last time I came, they took me to this place called Dahil Layan. I think it's the best place I've been so far in the Philippines. So quick greetings to you all. This is my family in Malaysia. That's my son Ian, 16 years of age. That's my wife Angela, married for 25 years this year. Just a bit about myself. I am from Malaysia and I'm a Chinese descent in Malaysia. I'm a third generation Chinese. My great grandfather came from China and migrated to Malaysia that worked in the mines. So I speak 3 different dialects of Chinese. I speak Mandarin, Cantonese, Hokkien. I speak English. I speak Malay. But very unfortunately, I do not speak Tagalog. So please forgive me if I'm not able to communicate as effectively as I can in your language. And the only reason is because I'm a bit afraid. So if I go back home one day and I be able to speak Tagalog, my wife will ask me this question: who's your girlfriend in Philippines? So to avoid that, and she's a lawyer, I don't want to get into trouble, so please understand. A little bit about myself. In the industry for around 22 years right now. As the introduction said, I was in the music industry. Yes, not in the K-pop industry. Maybe in K-pop North Korea, not South Korea. I'm just joking. But I wanted to be a violinist. I wanted to be a professional violinist. In fact, my teacher was a Filipino. And I got a scholarship to study in the US. But long story short, somehow it didn't work out. I came back to Malaysia and I didn't complete my entire education, and I went into real estate by chance. So fast forward, been doing real estate for 22 years. My first 2-3 years was an amazing journey. Then it came to a point in my second and third year, I began to come to this space of my career where I began to feel stuck in terms of my productivity. I was averaging about 3 to 4 transactions a month back then, and I was focusing on the upper range market properties. So in Manila, I'm not sure about CDO, but in Manila, it's kind of like I was doing the Rockwell BGC market, like, if you understand. So I was focusing in the market. I was doing 3 to 4 transactions a month, and I realized I was very stuck. I was doing a lot of things. I was busy. I had no time. I remember one vacation I took with my wife. Went to this island in Malaysia, a very famous island called Pulau Redang. Of course, it's not as nice as Boracay, but it's 20% of Boracay, I think. And I remember in that event, or in that 4 days, 3 nights vacation, I was so busy on the phone. Like, I was on the phone almost 24/7. That weekend, or that 4 days, I closed 3 transactions. The value was, the transaction was around, I think, $4-5 million US. So I made quite a lot of money that day, but one of the most important thing that hit me during that trip was a conversation that my wife had with me. And she told me this. So the last 3 nights, the last 3 days, while we were having vacation, so when I was having vacation, which is she was swimming in the pool by herself. And she told me this: you should be thankful and lucky that no one else was swimming with me. Because you were not there. And that was the moment of truth for me when I began to realize that my life was not the best life. I was making a lot of money, but it was not a rich life. And I'm not saying that making money is not good. I'm not saying we should not make money. But what I'm saying is there a better way where we earn money and we have time. And I begin to have this perspective and saying, what can I do in real estate where I can still make money, at the same time have quality time and life with my family. And I went into this journey of searching. And this is probably in the early 2005, 2006, I was searching. And I went to all the bookstores in Malaysia I could go to. I read a lot of books about real estate, including the one by Donald Trump. I do not recommend that book. But anyway, then one day I found this book It's a red color book. It's called The $1 Million Real Estate Agent. This is probably around 2007. And I read this book, and as I was reading, because most of the books in the market today talks about a personality, his journey, what he did, his story, and all these are very good. It's more like a biography in most of the books about real estate. But when I read this book, what struck me differently was that it was having a roadmap, a model and system to follow. It's kind of like, it's like a manual of how you build businesses with systems and models. And I begin to realize the reason why I am stuck and I'm always spending so much time in the business is because I don't have a model to work on the business. If that makes sense. And I went on this journey for about 8-9 months, somewhere around end 2008, 2009, I began to have a breakthrough. And a simple breakthrough was I was transacting around 16 transactions a month. Right, so that was my first phase of breakthrough. From 4 transactions a month, I was able to do 16 transactions a month. And in another 2 to 3 years, I began to build a pretty successful business. I had 10 agents with me, and then eventually we become 25 and 30 agents and 40, 50 agents. And I began to have a new pre-selling team. So my pre-selling team and my own secondary market sales team, we were doing about 50, 60 transactions a month. So by the end of 2014-15, my total revenue of my business was $5 million US. And then I got bought, and then eventually a bigger organization that was more that existed a long time, called Redfield, it called me up and we had conversations, and the long story short, they acquired my business and they wanted to kind of ask me, how can you use this model and scale in our business? And I took that model I learned from this book, and I went into that business from running a 50 people business, 5 million revenue, to a 400 over people business, $15 million US revenue. And in that journey, I began to realize running a 50 people business and a 400 people business is very different. You need models and systems. And 2019, we went to explore different systems in the market, in the world. We felt that in order for us to be a champion in our country or in our territory, we need to be associated, or we need to learn from the best in the world. And we found that at that moment, we visited Keller Williams in 2019 in an event in New Orleans, and we began to see that there were a lot of systems and models. Fast forward, after that, launching in 2019, September, Keller Williams Malaysia, we went from 400 agents, and during COVID, 2020-2021, to almost close to 900 agents during COVID. We had a productivity of 87% of our agents were in production, using the models and systems that we were learning, that we'll be talking a bit about today. And along the way, 2023, I began to feel that maybe it's time for me to step away from this role, and I got an opportunity by Keller Williams worldwide, and you can see I travel around a lot, around the world. In Asia Pacific, my coverage is to support our existing franchises in Asia Pacific, and also to grow the business. I introduced 2 markets, Singapore and Uzbekistan, in 2025. I began to travel around and learn from all these markets and begin to see that this model is so relevant. It is boundless. It's not an American thing. It's not a Western thing. And I found out it's actually a human thing. And I began to have this journey of passion of how can I help people live a better life, be the best version of themselves, earn the money that they want, and still have a good life with their family. And that's my mission. And I hope today, in my short time with you all, in 90 minutes, that I can impart some perspective, give you a few tools, maybe a few insights on how would that look like and what you can do in order for you to potentially move in that journey of having that life of your best version of yourself, make more money and have more time with your family. Is that good? Yes. Okay, now I really need, in order for this to work, right, I really need your participation. Now during COVID, what happened was, we had to shut down the business and we had to do online training. And I remember back then my mother-in-law was still staying with me. Back then he was 94 years old. Today she's 98 years old, she's still alive. And during that time, I had to makeshift my living hall, my television, my camera, and I was doing 3 times a day training. One day my mother-in-law told my wife, after 2 weeks observing my behavior during COVID, he said, did your husband have COVID? I say, why? Because he seems very angry. Why? He's scolding the TV every morning. And she saw me passionately talking to the TV, right? Because it's a Zoom thing, right? So I hope in today's session, you don't remind me of my mother-in-law. I hope there is a conversation going on. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to share. Do we have an extra mic or no extra mic? Is this one mic only? Okay. Just shout out your questions, shout out your aha, shout out your inquiries, and I want to address. I want to have a dialogue and not a monologue. Is that okay? Can you promise me not to remind me of my mother-in-law? Is that okay? Yes, because I do not want to be reminded that she thought I was crazy, okay? Now, the book that we read here today, the models that I begin to unpack as I read this book, is these 4 key things that we teach. So now, how this model came to pass was Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams, in the early 2006, did a research. What he did was, he's trying to see how can I help agents have the best business and the best life. That was always his goal. How can we add value to agents by helping them be more productive and yet have a impactful life? And then he began to do a research. So he, together with Jay Papasan and Dave Jenks, start interviewing the top producing agents in the industry, not only in the company, but in the industry. And at that moment, in the early 2000s, Keller Williams was about 50,000 agents. Today, we're about 190,000 agents. And he began to interview top producing agents. So what we are talking about today is based off research. And the 300 people that he interviewed was actually people that were netting $1 million a year for 3 years consecutively. So meaning he was having conversations, working out and trying to understand how can they be so consistent in their production, in their net profit. And he began to understand that all these 300 people have some similarities and some best practices and pretty much the same way they think. So he began to realize that there is a foundational model in the way we think about our business and the way we execute our business. And then he began to start doing this research, and after a couple of years, he then formulated these 4 key models. So this is not a suggestion, this is not a, it's not a theory, it's based on research. Right? And the word $1 million real estate agent is because this is the model for them to be able to net $1 million, not gross $1 million, net $1 million, meaning after minusing their expenses in their business, minusing their incidentals, their fees, their taxes, they net $1 million. Today we have thousands of these agents in the world following the same model. I personally have coached up to 30 agents around Asia using the same models to get that $1 million net income. So now this is the foundation. So in this model, the 4 key models that we are going to kind of touch a little bit here and there, is the first model is the economic model. Now the challenge with real estate agents today, and tell me if this is the same in CDO, is that you get a call from an owner, you go for a PKS, you learn the product, you take the pictures, some of you may not take pictures, and then you take the listing, and then you advertise in Lamudi, and then you go home, and you pray and hope something happens. Does that sound familiar? Yes. Ah, okay. So don't worry, it's not a Filipino thing, it's not a Mindanao thing, it's actually a human thing. Real estate agents are potentially generally very passive in the way they think about their business. And it's because also some of us may have entered the market during the time where it was so easy to sell. I entered the market at that point in time where we have a supply issue but a very high demand. Anything that I post on internet or anything that I post on the newspaper, I will find someone to buy. It's easy. But the reality is that a lot of us achieve good income for 1 year, and then we begin to realize, actually, how do we get there? What happened? So the reality of most agents' business, it's this. That's This is year 1, and it's year 2, year 3, year 4, 5, right? Does that sound familiar? Right? I have so many friends when I started real estate 20 years ago. The first 3 years of their life was so good. Then something happened. They got a kid, they got married, certain things happened in their family, physically some issues, psychologically some issues, and many things happened, and they kind of threw them off from where they were. Because when you are in your 20s and when you are in your 40s, you kind of have a different kind of life, if that makes sense. And that's when they realize they cannot build a consistent business. Even to go flat this way, it's not easy for most agents, right? And the reality is most agents are here, right? And the reason is this, based on research, the reason is this, is that the agent do not understand their number. Everyone say number. I say everyone say number. Okay. Thank you for not reminding me of my mother-in-law. So the reason why we don't know our number is because everything that you do in life, everything that you do in business, revolves around a formula and a combination of numbers. If you go do a full blood count test today in the doctor's clinic or in the hospital, the indication of your health is based on the number that is going to come out on the report, the blood report. Does that make sense? Now in business it's the same. So most of the time, a real estate agent wakes up in the morning at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever time you wake up, and he or she may struggle to ask this question, what should I do now? How many of you experienced this before? Oh, nobody. There are only 2 honest people here in this room. The rest of them are Filipinos, okay. But anyway, so that's the reality, because we are not clear, all right? And we are not clear, and it's not your fault. So I want to tell you, it's not your fault. It's because you did not know a model, a framework to think about your business. So let me give you an example of that. Can I give you an example? Yes or yes? Yes. Okay, I need a volunteer for this. Who would like to volunteer? Any volunteers? You volunteer? Okay, awesome. Your name?
Rosette.
You can stand there. Don't too near. My mother-in-law may not like it. Just kidding. Okay, so what's your name again? Sorry, tell everyone your name.
Rosette.
Rosette, please give her a round of applause. Rosette, tell me, in the next 12 months, how much money do you want to make? Yeah.
Okay.
And it can be a real number or a fake number, it doesn't matter.
100.
$100, 100,000 per year? Per month?
Per month.
So it's 1.2 million a year? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your goal is 1.2 million a year. Right, awesome. What is the average price per unit of the property that you sell? Like if you sell a property, what's the average selling price of the property?
Calculator, please.
One unit, one property that you sell, how much is it? How much is that?
5 million.
5 million, awesome. So 5 million is one transaction. And how much commission do you get? How many percent of commission do you get?
5%.
5%?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, you can't see? Sorry.
Yeah. 3%.
3%? So if you do a calculation, if someone have a calculator, you can help me now. 5 million, 3% is how much?
150,000.
150,000. So, Rosa, in order for you to hit your goal, you need to do how many units to get 120,000? So, 120,000 divided by 1.2 million divided by 150, how many units? Tell me what's the number? Take how many? 9 units. So, you need 9 transactions to hit 1.2 million. Awesome. Do you do secondary sales or pre-selling? Both. Assuming today is secondary sales, is that okay? Let's assume that, right, for easy conversation. Now, based on these 9 transactions right now, How many listings do you need in order to hit this goal? Now, you need definitely 9 listings, correct? Right? But how many what's the ratio from listing taken to sales? So every 5 listing I take, I will sell 1. Every 10 listing I take, I will sell 1. What's that number for you? How many listings do you need? In order for me to convert my listing to sales, because there's no way you can get 100% sales of listing, right? You have to take an X number amount of listing to get 1 sale. Is it 10 listings for 1 sale? 5 listings for 1 sale? 20 listings for what would that ratio look like? And it doesn't have to be a real one, a fake one is fine.
Okay. So 2 out of 10?
2 out of 10? So 1 out of 5?
Yeah.
1 out of 5. So every 5 listings you need to sell. So in order to do that, so 5 multiplied by 9 will give you 45, correct? 45 listings right now. Question, do you have 45 listings right now? No. So if you hit 45 listings, it's a high chance that we hit your goal. Now, how many people you have to meet in order to get 45 listings? So every owner you meet, or every person you meet, or every appointment you have, so every 2 appointments, 1 owner will say yes to you to give you the listing. Every 3 or every 1, how many?
Times 3 or 4 of that number.
4? So every 4. So 45 times 4, can someone give me the number? 180. So if you have 180 appointments in 12 months, you will likely get 45 listings and you'll likely get your 9 sales. Now, how many leads you have to generate in order to get the appointments? Is it 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1, 10 to 1?
5 to 10?
10 to 1? Every 10 you get 1 appointment?
No, every 10 you get.
Every
10
you get 3. So every 10 you get 3. So it's 3, every 3 you get 1. Right? So can you do me a favor? Take 180 appointments, multiply by 3. How much is that?
540.
Sorry?
540.
540. Awesome. So 540 leads. Now, in order to get 540 leads, can you divide to 12 for me, please? Sorry? 45. Can you divide by 4 for me, please? 11. Can you divide by 5 for me, please? So it's about 3, right? 2 to 3, right? Okay. So this is a daily, weekly, monthly. So now, Rosa, in order for you to achieve your listing goal, what you need to think about every morning when you wake up, what do you need to do, what action you have to do in order to get 3 leads per day. Now, if you hit this, you will hit your listing goal. If you consistently do it for the next 12 months, there's a high possibility you will hit that listing goal. Now, next, you need 9 buyers to buy 9 properties, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So there's 9 buyers. That's our goal. How many appointments that you bring clients in to see properties that you get 1 sale? So every 5 ocular or every 5 viewings you get 1 sale. Every 10 viewings, how many? What's your ratio? How many appointments that you go on to get 1 sale? 5 appointments, 10 appointments?
Every 5 there's
2 sales. Every 5 appointments?
No, every 5 appointments there's
1 sale. So 5 to 1. Awesome. So 5, it's the same thing, right? 45 appointments in 12 months. Now in 45 appointments, how many leads that you have to generate? Sorry, 45, how many leads you have to generate in order to get 45 appointments? So 10 leads that you generate, for example, you put Lamudi, you put Facebook ads, you put Instagram, whatever ads you do, how many of these inquiries will give you an appointment? 5 to 1, 10 to 1, 2 to 1, what would that look like? How many appointments that will help you lead, how many leads that you generate that will give you 1 appointment? 5 inquiries to get 1 appointment, 10 inquiries.
Out of 20, I get 4 or 5.
4 or 5, so out of 20. So there is 5 to 1. 5 to 1. So you can do, someone do me a favor, for 45 multiplied by 5, what do you get?
225.
225. So 225 leads. Can you do that divided by 12 for me, please? Thank you.
18.
So 19 leads, and then by 4, divide by 4 for me, please. 5. Okay, divide by 5 for me, please. 1. So every morning, if you wake up in the day, if you can generate 1 lead per day, and you can generate 3 leads per day for listings, there's a high chance you will hit your goal. Right. My next question to you: do you spend money on marketing?
Not yet.
So everything is free right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, give her a round of applause, please. Now, when you hear that conversation just now, what was your aha moment? Please share. Anyone? What did you learn something in that conversation just now?
Yeah.
What did you learn? Anyone?
Operate on numbers.
I'm sorry?
Operate on numbers.
Numbers. What else? What else? What did you learn? The question we have to ask ourselves is this: what do we need to do that's relevant in my market that will give me that number a day? Nothing else. And we think sometimes in life or in business, we do so many things, but then we end up not achieving anything. Have you been there before? You did so many things and you saw Instagram that agent was doing this, that agent, I'm going to follow here and follow there. Nothing happens. It's because you're not guided by an economic model. You're not clear when you wake up in the day, what market are you focusing? Like, are you focusing, like, someone will tell me, I'm an agent in Philippines. Which part of the Philippines? When there's so many, how many islands do you have in the Philippines here? What, 2,000? 7,000 islands. Man, I covered the whole Philippines. Wow. That's difficult. So you got to know your market, and you got to build positioning in your market. Now you need to understand this, because it's all starting from your goal. Right? What you want to become, what you want to achieve. I see so many real estate agents in the market today, they come in and see, let's try and see what we can do. They have no understanding, no clarity of what they want to achieve. Now if I go deeper and ask Rosa, why you choose 122,000 or why you choose 1.2 million pesos a year? People ask me, John, how do you set a good goal? Is a low goal a good goal for a newbie? Is a high goal too high goal? So I always tell people, set a goal in your business based on your life goals. And the first thing, if you don't know what you want to do in your life, you spend an hour, if you're married, talk to your spouse for 2 hours, ask him and her, list down your expenses on a monthly basis. Then you get the expense total for the month, you multiply by 12 and you add 40%. That should be your goal. So we are not powered by a reason of waking up every day because we don't realize what we need to do in our lives. There's no clarity, right? And everybody come into this business saying that this is a flexible business. I got news for you, man. Flexible business means flexible income. Unfortunately, your bills are not flexible. And that's the reality. So how do you consistently do it is, first of all, you must identify the economic model. What's the number that will put you on track? We call this the leading indication, right? A transaction is a lagging indication. The entire industry teach you how to close deals, but nobody is talking how do you build a business focusing on generating that lead or that listing or that appointment or that person in order for you to achieve your goal. Closing transaction, I got news for you, is the easiest thing to do. We all got it all wrong. Most real estate agents are successful, those who have a gift of the gap, who can speak well, who can communicate well, great. People always ask me, John, how is this 16 transactions a month? What did you tell the client? What was the word that you use? I said, I don't know. All I did was understanding my numbers, go find people that's interested to buy, show as many as I can, and eventually I will get a sale. It is that simple. Real estate sales is a contact sport. It's about people. It's about relationship. It's about having a system to understand how many people must I meet. in order for me to achieve my goal. And I'll be and it's very fascinating as I travel around the world. I was just in Mongolia 2 weeks ago, in a room like this with about 200 over people. And the same perspective I get, and everyone is, for the first time, some of them are hearing this. I didn't realize that. How many of you are hearing this for the first time? Only 2%. 3%, okay, there's one more honest person here. The rest I'm not sure.
Liars. They're liars.
They're Filipinos. I'm joking, right? And it's all about having clarity of what you need to do. Then I begin to realize, if you only to make one lead, you need to generate 1 lead a day, and for her to generate 3 listing appointment or 3 leads generation for listings a day, which is kind of getting how to find 4 people a day. That's very little time in your life. And in my journey in the last 20 over years, I've seen how people follow this model, still become a mom, full-time mom, still become a single mom, single dad, still run a very powerful career. I have people who are pastors in church that is running this model and still lead the church and still running a real estate business. Why they can do it? Because they're very clear every morning what they need to do. And then you begin to realize that if you open your calendar and you can ask yourself every morning when I wake up, what is it that I'm doing that's helping me achieve my number? Right? Today we are in the time of social media, content creation, and all these are important. Those are good. Those are important. But if you don't know what's your number, you don't know what you're supposed to do, then you don't really know what you're supposed to create content on social media. And that's where we're all clueless. So the first model we teach agents that I begin to understand is, what's my formula? Success is a very simple thing. It is not complicated. Then I begin to realize, my big realization is, I don't have to be someone that I'm not to achieve my goal. I just need to figure out what's my number, get my number, and in my strength, achieve my number. That's it. And you break down your goals, then you begin to realize, actually that goal is not a big goal, it's a small goal. Because it's only an hour of my time a day. If I just do this consistently, religiously every day for the next 2 years in my life will never be the same again. And that's what happened to me for 8 months. They get the 16 transaction, I begin to realize I just have to consistently do that simple thing over and over again. Whatever that gives me the lead gen, that gives me the listing. And we'll talk a bit about that tactical stuff later on. But the concept that I want to impress upon you today, ladies and gentlemen, is to understand your number. Do you know your number? Are you clear of your number? And do you know what you need to do to achieve the number? That's the interesting part that we have to understand today. Now the next model we teach is the lead generation model. Now, let me draw this. The lead generation model is probably the most important one. I apologize. Can you help me hold this so that I can drop it? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, John. Everyone give John a hand. Hey, John, stay there, John. Don't go anywhere. Stay there. Right, stay there. Awesome. So, the journey of a real estate agent sits here, and this is closing the transaction. So you close. This is where you follow up. And this is where you lead gen. A lot of people like to go for training to teach them how to close deals. But that's not the starting point. That's the most unimportant point, actually. Because if you don't have any of, and they go learn the scripts, how to close deal, how to ask questions, how to talk to customer, how to convince them to buy. So I always tell people, when you do real estate sales, you don't convince people to buy, you empower them to buy. And it's kind of like dating a girl. How many of you are married here? How many of you are not married? You planning to get married soon? Right? You can't convince someone to marry you. Do you know that? Do you try? Do you go to your wife and say, 5 reasons why you must marry me? There are 10 reasons why you should marry me. You don't do that. right? It's a natural process, right? It comes to a point you will know and then you propose and likely you will get it or you don't, right? It's like that. And same thing as real estate sales. You must understand real estate transaction is probably one of the most important decisions of everyone's life, right? Especially in the Asia regions. And it requires a lot of emotional journey, a lot of journey into making the decision. And our goal is to help them journey through that journey to achieve that goal. So this is actually the easiest part, if you ask me, right? But the challenging part is this, the lead gen. How do I get leads? And then the more challenging one is how do I follow up? Because most agents are very poor at follow up. And I give you another word to describe the follow up issue. Oh, that buyer not serious now. He's not a serious buyer. So in my vocabulary, there is no such thing as not a serious buyer. There's only not a serious agent. And let me tell you why. I'm sorry if you can see my chart here. This is the point where a client will buy. When they go to Lamudi, or when they are driving around the neighborhood and looking at a signboard, potentially they are around that 30 days period to pull a trigger to buy. Now if you have some of them could be here, and this is potentially maybe 12 months. Now if you met someone here versus someone here, who is a serious buyer? Anyone? This one or this one? Anyone? Okay, show of hands. Who says this one is a serious buyer? Okay, 2%. Who says this one is a serious buyer? That's why I told you there's no serious agent. In my perspective, both are serious. This is more ready, this is not so ready. If you have a system to follow up with them, in the next 12 months when he's ready, then you get the sale. The challenge is, we focus on the product, not the person. So today I want to teach, if you never learned anything today, the whole 2 hours we're here, I want to teach you 3 questions. How many questions? 3. So these 3 questions is where most real estate agents don't ask. Right? First question, Mr. Buyer, why are you buying? Because most of the time, when you see a client, somehow the real estate agents around the world have this virus. And this virus or this addiction of selling transactions, we want to just tell the client how great the property is. And we begin to tell the reasons of this property is so great. We talk about the property, we never ask what this person really wants. Because remember, the whole real estate transaction is a highly emotional transaction. It's a big decision. So their motivation is very important. So the first question you ask is why? Why are you buying? Find out the motivation. I'm buying for my son, I'm buying for my, I don't know, whatever reasons. And you'll be very surprised that once you understand the why, you begin to think through what potentially are something that is suitable for them. Before that, we are just trying to sell the product. We think that every appointment that we go into this journey of looking for a buyer, or whenever a buyer calls you from an advertisement and wants to see the property, we think that we have to sell them that property. But in reality, that appointment is an opportunity to build relationship. Right? Because the goal here is how can I be from a stranger to become a BFF? Right? It's a journey, right? It's a steps of trust, right? How do I build trust? Most people I know of, again I'm not sure in CDO is the same, and I stand to be corrected, that we have somehow some bad experience with a salesperson in our life before. Yes or yes? Have you had a bad experience with a salesperson before? So the minute you show up as a salesperson trying to sell, you cannot build trust. This requires trust. Because if not, why should I choose you as my agent? So I always tell real estate agents, slavery is over. Just because you saw that client first doesn't mean that's your client. You don't own any clients. The client's prerogative is to choose who they trust, who they think is best, that will help them achieve their goals, and I will choose that agent. So if you understand this journey, right, of building trust, the first question is why? Why are you buying? Second question, you better write this down. How soon must you buy? Right? And how soon must you buy? How soon must you buy is very important because you need to understand the timing. The problem with follow-up is frequency versus intensity. If I know this guy has a high intention of buying, my follow-up is highly intense, highly frequent. If I know this guy is 12 months, I will do a follow-up that is less intense, less frequent. Does that make sense? And the kind of messaging I go with them are two different messaging. Right? So that's important because how soon indicates where are they in their journey. Now the reason why we automatically say that the client is not serious because we have this assumption that everyone that calls you must be buying now. Somehow if they don't buy now, it's the greatest sin ever for every real estate agent. And then we label them as the not serious buyers, the difficult buyers, the buyers that cause me to waste my time. Now if you're in Metro Manila, the traffic jam cost me, the serious buyer, the not serious buyer cost me to stuck in traffic jam for 3 hours. Right? Because it's not their fault, it's actually our fault. We didn't clarify with them how soon must they buy. Right? Now if you understand that they are interested to buy in the next 30, 60, 90 days, I will rate that as someone that is high intention. My follow-up is highly different. Right? If I know that this guy, it's a high intention client, I will do what we call an 8x8 follow-up system. In the next 8 weeks, I will touch base with him once a week for the next 8 weeks. I will do a 33 touch. 33 times I will touch him in various systems to touch base with him, to follow up with him in 33 times. Challenge is, we only understand how to follow up one way. And that is, sir, are you ready to buy? Sir, I want to see again. Sir, are you happy with this property? That's poor follow-up. You cannot build relationship like that because that becomes a transaction, not a relationship. How do you build follow-up relationship, follow-up system is how can you come and contribute and how do you add value? The idea of building trust is when you can create value for your clients. Now let's talk a bit about value. What's an example of value? First follow-up, after looking at the property for the first time, you say, Mr. Tan, thank you so much for seeing the property. This is a questionnaire that I want to take back and based on our conversation that we have, this is actually some of the key salient points that we talk about. Is this correct? That's one follow-up. Next follow-up, I just want to let you know there are 3 more listings in the market. That's another follow-up. By the way, I've got a 12 months market report of this particular location. Would you be interested to have it? Another follow-up would be, by the way, there's a new restaurant that just opened in this neighborhood. I thought you should know. By the way, is there any other questions I can help you with based on our conversation yesterday? By the way, this is the current bank rate in the market that I think you should be aware of. By the way, I did a computation. Based on this computation, this is the current money that you have to put down in order to buy this property. I just want to have this so that if you have any questions, please let me know. By the way, this is a list of all my vendors that I approve, that I have a relationship with them, that they could help you in all your property needs, from a gardener to a, I don't know, milkman, newspaperman, electrician, air condition. This is a list of them. If you are interested that can help you, please take a look at this. Those are value-based proposition follow-ups. That's how you build relationship. You show up in the market trying to help someone. It's hard to reject someone helping you. It's quite hard. Right? So if you do it consistently, you follow up consistently, eventually, right, the idea of following up becomes much more easier. After the how soon question, the last question, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from buying today? Tell me. Let's talk about it. And everyone is different. Everyone is different. And you got to understand, basically, when you ask this question, those are potentially your rejection, your challenges. Oh, I need to sell my houses before I buy. I need to understand how much money I'm going to get from my bonuses at the end of the year. I need to see what's my increment before I can award. So you need to understand all these things. So these three questions is the foundation of building trust. Because now it's about them, not about you. It is about their outcome, not about your income. That makes sense. When you can show up this way and try to help them and try to come from contribution, now you got value. Now you are the person that can help me. Now maybe, I think, I maybe might trust you. And when you ask questions, you begin to find a lot of information. Most agents don't like to ask questions, or they don't know how to ask questions. And the idea of asking questions is the way you should build relationship. So the model we talk about here, the lead generation model, is how can we build a database of people that we have met, not met, and how do we follow up with them and connect with them in a systematic way. John, I really need your help. You can help me rub the board as I talk. Thank you so much. Everybody give John a round of applause. Yes. Unofficially, he has been appointed as my assistant this afternoon. He's the person that will rub it, so it's a very important role, okay, John? Yes, everything will make or break because of you. And if everything's not right, it's your fault, okay? So anyway, so the idea is the lead gen model then begin to understand. Once I understand my economic model, now I begin to understand how many people I must be in relationship with, and how do I build a relationship that is relevant to my market that will help me achieve my goal. That makes sense? So the idea is this. The idea is, what is a database? Now a database looks like this. This is your BFF. These are people that likes you, want to do business with you forever. You have clients like that, right? Some clients that you really like forever be good friends, right? And there are some clients that absolutely you hate them or they hate you, correct? Yes? I hope that you have more best friends, BFFs, than those people that hate you and you hate them, okay? It does happen in this industry. It does happen, trust me. So the idea is, how do you then connect with your BFF? So there's a BFF, and then there's your sphere of influence, we call it the SOI, people that know you, right, or have done some business with you, but they're not your BFF yet. And these are the people that you have met. These are people that you have met. They are probably an owner that you have met that you have not transacted yet, a buyer that you have met that not transacted yet. And then these are the people that you have not met. So in your database, Excel spreadsheets, CRM systems, or whatever, how do you categorize them? How do you then follow up? So if you're a BFF, we call them 33 touches per month, per year. Touch them 33 times. How? Every quarter one phone call. Every year end one event. Every month 2 newsletters, whatever the sequence. And it doesn't matter what sequence it is. It could be I'm going to their Instagram and like their page and comment on this. That's one touch point. So you keep them in touch forever, and you need to be in close emotional proximity with them in a long time. They should be in your Instagram, LinkedIn account, Facebook account. They should be there. They should see what you're doing. So these are the people that you touch 33 times a year. This one, you do the same. This one, you do potentially, this one you do an 8 by 8 first, I'm sorry. You do an 8 by 8, then you go into a 33 touches. This one, you do a 12 direct. For the next 1 year, every month you touch them 1 time. Now the content that you create to touch all these people can be the same. It is just delivered in a different time or a different sequence. But the idea is this: how can I bring someone here closer to my circle? And the bigger I have here, the bigger my business. Does that make sense? The challenge is National Association of Realtors in the US have a survey every year. And the survey says this: When they interview all home buyers that bought for the first time, and they ask this question, the survey is this: would you buy that another real estate for the same real estate agent that sold you this house? 85% of them say yes. The second question that they asked, the second survey was this: how many of you, after 5 years, bought another property from the same agent? Only 15% say yes. Whose fault is that? So now you believe there's no such thing as a not serious client, it's only a not serious agent. Some of you are laughing out of the truth that sets you free. Suddenly there's that joy, unspeakable joy. So how many of you experienced when you saw a client that met you and few years later you met them, they bought a few more properties from someone else? Yes? Whose fault is that? Which agent? The agent that sold them or you? Yeah. So the reality is, it's not that they don't do business with you, it's because you did not stay in contact with them. You didn't build a mind share before the market share. They don't think about you, and we think they should think about us, but you are the only, they only met you once, and they can't remember. Right? So you must understand this very well, that if you don't show up in front of them, when they are ready to buy, they don't call you, they call someone else. But in reality, most people like to do business with only 1 or 2 people for that particular business. Like, you like that hairdresser. How many of you have 50 hairdressers? Like, you have only 1 hairdresser for the past 10 years. How many of you have that? Hairdresser. You have 50 hairdressers? No. How many of you are using 1 hairdresser for the last 10 years or 5 years? Yes. The rest of you don't cut hair. Are they real hair? So we only want to talk to 1 or 2 people because we have no time to build new relationships. We have no time to build trust. So the problem is not with the client, the problem is with us, that we are not able to systemize the way we think about leads. We always want to look for new buyers that want to buy now, which is very tiring. And then you realize in CDO, I was told you have about 1 million people, right, in the population here. If you have done Facebook marketing for real estate here for the last 5 to 7 years, likely everyone that wants to buy or needs to buy or can buy has already registered in your Facebook lead gen activities. You already got them already in your database. But the challenge is you're not calling them and you're not talking to them, because when they are ready to buy, you are not in front of them. And that's on you. That's on you. So the reality is that we don't have a model to think about following up, to think about generating leads. And leads is about people. And leads is about connecting with people, building relationship, hoping whenever they are ready to pull the trigger, I'm the first top of mind. That's our business. And we are creating that relationship by building trust, through creating value to them, that we are now the local economies of choice. That's your goal. That's the business. The third thing, the third model we teach, by the way, I'm only in slide number 1. So, it's okay, you all have to be patient a bit. The third model that we teach in the model is called the budget model. This is the most exciting one and the most interesting one, because most real estate agents don't like to talk about money. So how many of you have seen real estate agent or experience before? You close the transaction, the end of the year, you ask yourself, where's the money? Yes or yes? Okay, it's okay, you are normal, you are just human being. It's because we don't have a model to think about how do we manage our finances. The number 1 reason why most real estate agents fail, from my observation, is they fail not at the business, not fail at their skill level, they fail at managing their finances. And it's very sad, because easy money come, easy money go. You don't set a budget. What's a budget for your business? How much money are you spending? What's your cost per lead? If you're generating 1 lead per month, it costs you 1 lead per week. Maybe 1 lead costs you $5 or 50 pesos. If you want to have 10 leads, just scale that up. Now, is your business generating enough income, minusing your expenses, to give you that that money to be able to do that business, right? And we don't invest in that business. We kind of mix up our business money with our life money. Does that make sense? One of the things that I learned in this book, when I did 16 transactions a month, I began to realize I mix all this money up together. Then I realized that I need to pay myself a salary every month, and the business need to have its own life. I need to have my own life. And I realized I need to then set my own personal budget very clear, so that I need to know what is the money that to earn to fund my life, and I'm very clear of that number, and I make sure that I have a separate bank account for my business, separate bank account for my life. But not separate bank account for my wife, cannot. So the idea is that in order for me to generate X, do I have Y? How many of you are accounting students here or accounting graduates? Anyone? Okay. The accountants are normally very honest if they can balance the account. The principle of accounting is this: where there is revenue, there must be expense. If you study accounting, one of the first few things that you have to learn is when there's revenue, there must be expense. Sadly, most real estate agents say, no, I don't want to run the business with expense. But they don't realize they're already having some expenses. So what's your expense? The idea of creating profit in the business is you create value to generate revenue, you manage the revenue to an expense, and then you get a profit. That's our business. Now what's that model? So we teach agents how to do that. The next thing is the organizational model. Once you hit above 36 transactions a year, then potentially you earn the right to hire your first admin. Then you begin to understand that the real estate business is divided into two categories of functions. First is what we call the functionary roles. Second is called the fiduciary roles. Functionary roles means these are the simple functions. You do follow-ups, you post your listings on internet, you do your marketing content, you put on Lamudi, you create templates to send to your clients, you reply. Those are all functionary roles. The other side is called the fiduciary roles. The fiduciary roles is when you have those conversations with clients. Why are you buying? How soon must you buy? What's stopping you from buying? You have those consultations. And the more people you talk to, the more consults you go on, the more appointments you go on, will give you better business. Do you agree? Yes. That's what you need to do. But the problem is, if you want to scale that business, someone has to do your functionary work. Either a system or a person. And today I argue, maybe at 36 transactions per year, you may not need to hire anyone yet because you have AI. You can create a lot of tools, a lot of functions using AI to work for you. So the idea is this: in order to be successful in a real estate business, to build a scale business, I begin to understand that these are the 4 key models that I must have. Because a stable business, it's about having models, not being creative first. Most of us try to be creative first, right? And we saw someone on Instagram, we saw someone on YouTube, we saw someone on Netflix, and we say, I want to be that guy, it's so cool. Right? This whole industry is full of people of personality driven, but actually it's not. The idea is models. So if I wake up in a day and my goal is to get 4 leads a day, I just have to make 10 phone calls to get 4 leads. Why do I need to do 3 hours of work to get 1 hour of work done? Why? Why do I even need to shoot a video if I don't need to shoot a video? I had an agent in Singapore recently. He was an accounting executive in the Big Four, and then he wanted to transit into real estate. And what he did was, he came into our system about 6 months, and he's figuring out how to go full-time. And we sat down and he did a model to understand his economics. And then we realized he only needs 14 transactions a year to be able to go full-time in the business. And the last 6 months I asked him, what's your number 1 source of leads? Now in Singapore, if you have listings, you will sell. The average time for listings to be in the market is not more than 5 days. So when I mean, and that's for sale. For rental, 24 hours. Because there is a surplus of demand and a shortage of supply. So the goal for him is very simple. If I can get enough listings secured, I will hit my goal. So I asked him the last 6 months, what did you do to hit that 4 sales that you did? I said, I just went around, I have no money, I have no experience. I just went around this area called Punggol, in an area called HDB flats, which is kind of like social housing. They sell social housing. Social housing is quite expensive in Singapore, by the way. You're talking about 600,000 Sing dollars. That's about $500,000 US to $1 million US for social housing. It's a high income nation, by the way. So he said, what I did is I just go around and knock $50 to get 1 appointment. So if you do that for the next 6 months, knock $100, you get 2 appointments. And every 3 appointments, you will get 1 sale. That's what he did for the rest of that 1 year. He hit his goal after 12 months. By doing that one thing, not doing a lot of things. He didn't shoot any video. He didn't do anything. He just go and secure listings. So when you understand the models in your business, you just focus on the things that matter and you do it. The challenge is we try to be distracted by a lot of things. Actually, life is very simple, but we somehow complicate it because you are not clear what you want to become. I'll tell you a story of these 2 guys here. That's Brendan, that's Timothy. 2020, Brendan came to my office. I recruited him when he was 23 years old. This is when he's probably 8 years in the business. And he was stuck for many years. He was stuck around the production of $400,000 US a year. And his goal was $1 million. And one day he came into my room and said, John, I'm tired. I'm going to get married soon. And I don't know how can I keep on going without hitting my goal. And I don't have time for my family. And I said, look, in my country, I'm very famous for saying this. I say, show me your calendar and I'll tell you how successful you are or you're going to become. So we inspected the calendar. We look at his calendar. Every week for the last 3 years, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he has full 5 to 6 appointments a day for 3 days. Now, how many of you know in your industry, in your business here, if you have 5 appointments per week, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you have 5 appointments a day, that's 15 appointments a weekend. That's a good business. Yes or yes? Very good business. Now, he's doing about 11 transactions a month. 12 transactions a month. But he can't hit his goal. And we start inspecting his approach and his listings and the transaction that he was doing. 70% of his transactions were leases around $1,000 to $4,000 US. And we did a mathematical calculation like what we did just now. In order for him to achieve the goal, he has to do a few hundred transactions. Not possible. And there was an aha moment for him when I had that conversation over 1 hour with him, and he realized that if he doesn't change his approach and his formula, he will not achieve his goal and he won't have his good life. So after that 1 hour conversation, we began to sit down and map out a GPS, a plan, a system on how to track your economic model, right? And then he began to realize that he has to start taking listings of a higher level and doing less transaction to achieve his goal. For the first time in his life, he realized closing the transaction that he was closing was stopping him from achieving his goal. I want you to listen to this carefully. Closing the transactions that he was closing was stopping him from achieving his goal, was robbing him of his life from the business, from his family. He made a conscious decision. After 12 months, he went to this program. The next 2 years, he changed his business radically. 2023, he won 2 national awards. Now, this award is awarded by the Malaysian Institute of Estate Agents, meaning it's for the national, it's kind of like the national association for the whole industry. We have about close to 30,000 agents in Malaysia, and this is a national event, not only for my company, but for all agents, and he won 2 awards. First award was the $1 Million Real Estate Agent Award, he made $1 million. Second award was the single largest real estate transaction for a residential property in the country that year. It was $11 million. He won that award. That year he hit his goal by selling 9 properties. It was very clear. He understands his economic model very well. He worked on his economic model, he worked on his lead gen, he started thinking, who are the people I should be in relationship with? What should I do to touch them, add value for them? How can I focus on building relationship and start doing those things? Here's his goal. Now I just saw on his Instagram 2 weeks ago, he was in Tibet. Holiday with his family. He said, life is great. My daughter is 5 years old, having the best time of my life, still running a good business. That's the life I want to help people to become. You don't have to hustle, you hustle in a different way. You work hard in a different way. Next guy, Timothy, he was a musician. He was a keyboardist and a music programmer. Same thing, before he got married, a lot of people come and see me before they get married, I don't know why. So I always tell them, you sure you'll get married? Then he told me, I'm going to get married soon, and he was doing pre-selling projects. He was selling around, he was running a pre-selling team, and they were doing probably 50, 100 transactions a month as a team of maybe 20, 30 people. Then he realized, he said, this is tiring, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I have no weekends for my life. I want to do something else. And he began to venture into the industrial market and the development land market. So he made a conscious decision, say, if I only sell 5 transactions a year, I will then be able to hit my goal. So he went on a journey for 2 years during COVID, 2021 to 2023, and he began to gather the listings. And when you're doing land development, you don't advertise on Namudi. You begin to study financial reports of publicly traded company, because certain category of land only certain people can buy because that's the amount of the money they have. And he began to start doing feasibility studies of the projects, the viability of the land, what kind of profit level he can get from this development. He went to do all proposals, and he began to study publicly traded companies' annual report. And he realized these 5 companies or 6 companies potentially have a plan to acquire more assets to build, right? So he began to approach them. Long story short, in 2 years, he sold 3 pieces of real estate. And that year he won 2 awards. The first award was the $1 Million Real Estate Agent Award. Second award was the single largest development land transaction in the country. It was $150 million US. He's living a good life. Yesterday afternoon, when I just spoke to him on chat, he just closed a transaction, $2.6 million US commission. They are very clear and they are very focused. The foundation of our business is this. Whatever you do every morning when you wake up, you think about this, you do things, are only 3 things. Are you having enough leads for your business? Do you have enough listings that will help you fund your business? And if you have too much leads and too much listings, do you have leverage to support your business? That's it. It's not about being content creator. It's not about being YouTuber. Those are important, don't get me wrong. Those are necessary. But you've got to ask the question, is what I'm doing right now helping me get the leads that I want and the listings that I want? If not, then what are you doing? The realization that most agents I talk to today is that they don't understand the relationship that they have with all these 3 things. And they do things that's outside of these 3 things. In Malaysia, I don't know about CDO, but in Malaysia, a lot of real estate agents like to do one important activity. It's called networking. And what is networking? It's a bunch of real estate agents, they got no appointments, nothing to do. They sit down in the coffee shop and talk for 5 hours. And they're networking. And I always see agents doing that, and I will ask them, why are you doing that with your time? What's the value? But that's the threat. Is it the same here? Yes or no? Oh, you all don't dare to answer me. It's okay. You're all very honest people. Thank you. Because they don't know what else to do. They're not clear what they need to do because they don't have a relationship with these 3 things in their life for their business. My question to you today, what's your relationship in your life with leads and listings and leverage in your business? What is leverage? Are you leveraging on someone to be trained? Are you leveraging on someone or system to manage your leads or listings? Are you doing certain things? Everybody wants to sell and do real estate without spending money doing things. Like somehow, there's this phenomenon, it's not a Philippines thing, it's a global thing. The real estate agent think that I just need to sell one house, I need to do something little, that somehow I will close a transaction, I'll make a lot of money and I don't do so much work. There's this idea that the life of the real estate agent is actually very easy. I got news for you, it's not easy. It's simple, but not easy. Success is boring. It's doing the same thing over and over again, and you get success. It's not doing a lot of things. It's doing the one thing, two things that will help you achieve your listing goal, your leads goal. And when you have too much list of listings, you go leverage. Next story I want to share is Tony. Tony is one of our top agents in Malaysia. Last year he did 205 transactions. This year he's now targeted to hit almost 300 transactions this year. He's a single agent with his wife assisting him and an admin. Yes, he's tall, dark and handsome than me. I know you're looking at his face. Maybe one day I'll bring him here. And he's very simple. He only focuses on 4 blocks in a location. Like we have a location, something like Rockwell. And he focuses on that four condominium blocks and he's doing this. He has 90% listings in that 4 blocks. Highly focused. Highly focused. For the 5th year in a row, he has hit $1 million and above. Highly focused people. They begin to understand, he began to understand, if I just do the small things and the focused things in my business consistently, my business is a good business. He knows his numbers. I want to share a story of Yimping. Yimping, my team, is one of my agents that I coach, so that's Yimping. When she came to me in 2021, she got into a very, and I have a permission to share this story. She got into a time where it was a very challenging moment. Her mother passed away. He got into a divorced single mom. No single family in his life. She was a top agent in another company for 7 years in a row, but hitting a ceiling, about $400,000 a year. Very big ceiling, and he has no time because she has to spend time with her daughter. The time her daughter Phoebe was only 6 years old. Now remember, she came to me, John, how can I still make more money or the same amount of money and have more time for my daughter? I want to find that life. And I said the only way is, according to the model, is you have to do more transaction and you have to have people helping you in the transaction. So she went on a journey and built that team. And we have a team model, we have a leverage model where we train people how to build your admin. Then you have buyer's agents. You got one agent just for rental, one agent for 2 agents that shows the property. She will get the listings, and an admin will do all the operation work. And in her journey, it's a real story here, but in her journey, she began to realize not only that I'm helping myself and my family, and helping people. This guy here is Kenneth. Kenneth is a cancer survivor. Kenneth has amputated his left leg when he was 15 years old. He is wearing what we call a prosthetic leg. For many years, Kenneth don't know what he should do in his life. Can you imagine when you are 15 years old, you get your leg amputated and you don't know, probably from limb onwards it's gone. And he lives a life of not understanding, no clear goals. One day someone introduced him to me and I have a conversation. I say, I know what, I think Yimping's team is a fit for you. Fast forward today, Kenneth earns $300,000 to $400,000 a year. One day Yimping told me early this year when I met her over lunch, we have meetings almost every quarter, and she said, I just realized that I built a system that can not only fund my life, but fund the people around me. And Kenneth was one of them. And that's a good business. They have 80% market share of their location right now, running about $2 million per year in terms of revenue, and she is potentially going to look at expansion for a new location. All these people are able to achieve this goal because they follow a model. Question, what is your model? What are you following? What is your framework in your business? And the reason why they are successful is not because they are smarter than you and I. It's just that they are clearer than some of us here today. Someone once asked me, what's the difference between a very successful person and a not so successful person? And I'll answer this in a very simple way. A very successful person, highly successful, he or she is very clear of what he wants and what he doesn't want. He is very clear of what he needs to do and what he doesn't need to do. And the difference between a person that is not successful is he doesn't know what he wants and doesn't know what he don't want. And he or she doesn't know what he's supposed to do. That's the difference between a highly successful person and not so successful person. It stands behind that philosophy, that principle. And if you think of that way, in the way you run your business, your family, your work, your school or whatever, it's the same thing. We walk around not understanding what we really want to become. Therefore, we don't have a pathway to get what we want to become, and therefore we sit down and we just wait. And nothing happens. This is a story I want to share with you. Now, the next story I want to share with you is, this is a story in the Philippines. Mitch and Dennis Rosote, you might know or might not know them. If you go to Instagram, you will find them. They're called KW Rockstars in Manila. When they came to me, they were a husband and wife team. They have a challenge in trust. They don't know how can they trust people, and they don't know how to scale their business because they were on their own. And we went to this coaching program, followed the same thing, and began to hire her first assistant. Today they are scaling their business. I just got a call from her 1 month ago and say, the market is quite challenging in Manila right now. What can I do? I'm not hitting my goals. I'm not hitting my lead goals, my buyer goals, my listing goals. He began to start thinking, in order for me to do that, I will target the OFWs in other countries. He began to build network in Japan, Australia, US, and start bringing OFWs into the country. Because that was the market that was needed during that time. Now she can do that and he can do that is because they know their number. They understand what's the weekly, monthly, daily number that they have to achieve to get what they want to fund their lives. At the end of the day, you need to understand how much your performance is driven by these few things, your investment is driven by a few things, and the outcome is that. The way you perform is because of the behavior, the skill level, and the ability. The idea is this: we think we have to build skill first before we can perform, but we don't realize if we don't do the work, we won't build the skill. You cannot develop skill by learning alone. You've got to do it to learn it. Does that make sense? You've got to take action daily basis before you do it, become it. So the idea is, what is it that you want to become today? What's the question? The question is, what do you want to become today? My question before I end today is, as I come to a close, and we can go in the time of Q&A. I want to give some time for Q&A. My question to you is, where are you right now in your business? Who's helping you in your business? What framework and what formula are you following to achieve your business? Because at the end of the day, this business is a very simple business. It's a people business selling real estate. It's how many people you're in relationship with, how are you adding value, creating value for the people in the market that you're trying to serve, and that's going to help you in your business. Did you learn something today? Yes. Yes or yes? Yes. Are you going to make me feel like my mother-in-law? Yes or no? No. Oh, only 2 people say no, the rest of you. I need to introduce you to my 98-year-old mother-in-law. Okay, so let's open the floor for questions. I want to spend some time having questions with everyone. Is there any questions that you want to ask? Or any ahas? Share something that you learned today in the room. What did you learn, or what questions do you have? Anyone? Any questions? Yes, there's a question over there. Thank you. Yeah, just stand there and ask the question. Don't worry. Yeah. You. Yeah. Please give her a round of applause for asking the question. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As I think everyone knows, no, because we are here in the Philippines. Sir, my question is, what is you think is a good tool or a good approach, since Philippines is actually economically not stable, political wise, and financial. Philippines is not as stable as you were saying about
Right.
Singapore,
Right.
right? So what would you think is a a good approach or a good tool
Right.
to do well, to do good.
As a real estate agent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
As an agent.
Thank you so much. So the business is very simple. You find people that have money that wants to buy, right? And you find people that has money that wants to buy. And the idea is this: in any market, in any part of the world, you have people that can buy and people that cannot buy. Agree?
Yes.
So your job, the population of Philippines is 127 million, something like that. And I take 1% as the total percentage. Those are the people that potentially earns everything, unfortunately. And it's pretty much the same in different countries with a few more percentage. Your job in your market is to figure out who they are, where they are, go find them, be in relationship with them, understand what they want, bring to them what they want, and work on them. That's your job. Work on them, find them, hunt for them. A lot of times people focus on how can I convince someone to buy. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's like someone telling me, John, how do you convince this agent to be productive? And I always tell them, their parents fail, their spouses fail, their friends fail. What makes you think I can be successful here? And that's the reality, right?
Yeah.
But the other way is, if I want to find someone that wants to be productive, it's easier to find someone that wants to be productive, and then they will be productive. Same thing, if I go out there and find someone that's interested, that has the money and they can buy, it's easier. So your job is to go and be in relationship with these people as much as you can. So basically, who are you spending time with? Are you busy networking in the coffee shop? Or you're busy prospecting people that potentially can buy? That's it. In any economy situation, in any market, there will be people wanting to buy. Now, two things. During COVID, I got one group of agents that focus in luxury bungalow, luxury mansions, right? And every listing is about $4 million to $10 million. That's the listing. And during COVID, for 6 months, they have 0 transactions. And we sit down and have a Zoom conversation in my coaching call and say, okay, look, what's going on? And we start to ask this question: is there anyone in the market that is still wealthy with money that can buy? So I ask you the same question. Right now, in this current market, in this current condition, do you think in the entire Philippines of 120 over million people, there are people that can afford to buy right now? Do you agree there is? Yes? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, if you're absolutely sure, do you agree that they're likely smarter than you and I? That's why they're richer than you and I. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Right. You may not like them, you may not adore them, but they're smarter than you and I. So the goal is this: in a tough market, what we realized with that team during COVID is that they have 80% of the listings, but it's not moving. So I asked them, during this time, when the market is not moving, but you still have people that can buy, how can you motivate buyers to buy? It's very simple. These 3 mantras in real estate is internationally acclaimed and recognized by me. Number 1, owner want to sell high. Number 2, buyer want to buy cheap. Number 3, agent want to sell fast. So in these 3 critical acclaim points that is approved by me, acknowledged by me, if you agree with this, in a buyer's market, buyer want to buy low. Yes? So that means there are a lot of priced property that is not priced correctly for the current market. So that group of agents, what they did is they went on a journey. They set a goal. Every week, we need to go and talk to our listings. There are about 180 listings, if I'm not mistaken. And every week, their goal is to reprice 5 listings per week. That's all they did. And whenever they reprice the listings correctly, and whenever they reduce, it's not about reduction of price, by the way, guys. It's not about lowering the price. It's about repricing the price for the current market to sell. So I told them, oh, John, but how do we tell the owners that you have to sell cheap? It's not nice. They will tell. I say, that's not the key. You go to find sellers that needs to be motivated to sell now because they need the money during crisis. I told them, you are now helping someone to solve a financial problem. You should take pride and honor in that. Go out there, find someone that you can help that wants to sell because they need to sell and you're doing them a favor. So they went on this journey. Within the next 3 to 6 months, they hit double of their goals of what they hit last year before COVID. Why? Because they did the things that matter. They go find people that actually want to buy. And they told me 50% of the buyers that bought were the people that are staying in the same neighborhood. That's it. It's a context spot. You reprice the property correctly during a buyer's market, during a seller's market, you go find many sellers, you will get sales. Two things. This market, this real estate industry is highly simple. It's not complex. Remember the 3 things, right? Seller want to sell high, buyer want to buy low, agent want to sell fast. So if you understand these 3 things, these 3 principles, in a seller market, find as many listings as you can, you will sell. In a buyer's market, price the listing correctly as much as you can, and then you go find more buyers, you will sell. As simple as that. National Association of Realtors did a survey last year in 2025. At the end of 2025, the survey shows there are 1.3 million NAR members in the United States. 1.3 million registered real estate agents in the country. Now, the staggering fact was this. 71% of these real estate agents had 0 transactions. 29% of them did most of the transaction in the country. The market is coming to a place where some agents will be displaced because they are not creating value, they're not understanding what the client wants, they're not doing more for their clients, they're not changing the way or their approach of their clients to match the current market. And they don't really want to build more relationships with people. They are just hoping, taking the listing, advertising Lamudi, and some of them say, why so expensive? And they don't do anything. And that's all they do. They sit down and they pray. Depending on what religion you are, you pray accordingly, your own customary form. And nothing happens, and they say the market is bad. There's no bad market in this industry. There's only a buyer's market or a seller's market. Now, a bad market is today, we are all in World War III and everybody don't go anywhere. That's a bad market. Nothing can be done. Unfortunately, it's not like that. Are we in the buyer's market or seller's market right now? In your market? Are there more buyers or more sellers right now? More sellers, less buyers, right? Yes. So is your listing priced correctly? That's the question. Who is helping you? Do you have a framework to have a 4-point conversation with a client to journey with them how to price your listing correctly? How are you doing that? That's how you need to do. That's the current market. So do not be persuaded by the market or the economic condition. We do not depend on the economy for our market as real estate brokers because there will be transactions in any market. There is not one year in the Philippines, I don't know this, but I think there isn't a year in the last 20 years there were 0 transactions in the country. Were there? Do you remember any data that shows you that? No. Someone is still selling, someone is still buying. The challenge is they're not buying through you or not selling through you. That's it. That means the market is still active. So the challenge is, are we changing, are we following according to what the market needs us to do right now? Does that make sense? Yeah. Second thing, you need to be the local economies of choice. You need to be educating your market. You need to be known as the key person that can help add value in your market. Lead generation is education is the new lead generation. Are you educating your clients? Do they see you as the person to go to ask about questions about their journey? Are you that person? Because if you don't have that, then what's your value? You just open a door, like you take a key and open a door. Dude, the Grab driver can do that. They don't have to ask you to do this. Have you ever experienced before some owners that you talk to reluctantly pay you your commission? They feel, why should I pay you that 5% commission? What did you do? You opened the door, what did you do? Have you experienced that before? Yeah, why? That's our fault, not their fault, because we never show them what value that we have. In this industry around the world, we have one of the least respect, but we make the most money. But we can choose to have respect while we respect ourselves by adding value to them. So the question is, are you adding value to your clients? Right? So two things, right? Create the value, be in relationship with them, be the local economies of choice. Go find and be in relationship with people that can buy right now. You got to know the market that is moving. Don't go to a market that is not moving and hope that it moves. It doesn't move. Because in any economic situation, certain market moves, certain market doesn't move. You agree? Certain areas will sell, certain areas won't sell, correct? Right, once the Pogo left Manila Bay in 2025, all the SM properties in Manila Bay went down 40%.
Yeah.
I got an agent from China. Oh, no microphone. Sorry. Is it a sign to stop? Apparently not. So, there was an agent in China, his name is Jackie. He has his own brokerage in Manila Bay. He's been selling like mad every day because everyone else was marketing at the listing price of before Pogo. He is marketing price at after Pogo. He sells 10 transactions a week when I met him. Because he's clearing the stock. He's helping someone cash out to gain back cash. So in any market, there's a market. You got to understand the market, you got to find that market, and you got to talk to the people that's relevant in that market. That's our job. Does that answer your question, ma'am? I hope you answer your question. Anyone else? Any other questions? You have to yell a bit later. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Thank you so much. Give me a round of applause, please. It's okay. You can shout. My hearing is quite good.
Hello. You mentioned about goals and growth.
Yeah.
In our company, my business partner has different definition of growth with
Sure.
me. For her, it's more on personal sales and conversion.
Right.
For me, it's more on recruitment.
Right.
Is it a bad thing for the company or it's a good thing?
It's actually a very good question. So let me try to rephrase that question.
By the way, my business partner is my wife.
So your essential question is, who is good, who is bad, is it? Okay. He's looking for my support. I can feel it. And now she's also looking for my support. So my question to you now is, are you profitable?
With my wife.
Is your business profitable? Please, the marriage conversation is not in this seminar.
We've been with we started our company 2 years.
Yes.
Not yet profitable.
Right. And is your plan right now to be profitable or to be big?
Big and profitable.
Okay. If you have a choice, choose one.
Big, sir. Big.
And you will lose money when you are big. You're okay with that?
No.
So what do you want now? But it's a very good question. Thank you for bringing this out. John, your assistance is needed. Today, John will get the best whiteboard eraser award. The existence of business, the fundamental of business is to make a profit. That's the fundamental existence and the purpose of a business. Now, if you don't want to make a profit, it's called a non-profit. Do you agree? So, you need to be clear what you want to become. Profitable or non-profit? There is no good or bad. Unfortunately, there is no right and wrong. It's only what you want to become. And that's the power that you have. I can't take that away from you, your business partner can't. You got to figure out what is it that you want to become. Now, if you want to become profit, what's the goal here? Assumption. I want to be 1,000 pesos profit. Assumption. Then, is what you are doing helping you achieve this goal? If it's not, then why are you doing it? It's very simple. I want you to pause and think about it. Instead of having a juxtaposition of opinions of what is right and wrong, what is good and bad, ask a different question. What is it that we are trying to achieve? Start from there. Because if you don't know what you want to achieve, then the good and bad and right and wrong conversation is a futile conversation. Why be good, why be bad, for what? And we end up in a conflict. Most businesses fail today, or partnership fail today, and I know you won't fail. It's because it's a misalignment of understanding and direction and goals. The other word to define misalignment is called burnout. When you are not in alignment, you are doing the things that is not helping you achieve what you want to achieve, or you don't know what you want to achieve, you will feel super tired. Trust me, because you are not winning. How do you know you're winning? Sports. You all watch, now it's World Cup soccer. You all watch football?
Basketball. Basketball nation.
Oh, sorry, basketball. You watch basketball? Right. How do you win a basketball sport? You score within a certain time frame, right? There's a time frame, there's a set of rules, and the goal is to score goals. Now the question is, how do I win the game? Do I score goals or do I don't score goals? So if you understand the principle or the rules of engagement in business, the first principle is you have to be profitable. Are you profitable? If you want to be profitable, what's the profit goal? Then you ask yourself, is what you are doing helping you achieve your profit goal? Now, question and assumption. If assumption, your goal is 1,000 pesos of profit, how many agents do you need? I don't know. You have to answer the question. How many agents do you need? 1, 10, 100? Why do you need 1,000 agents to hit a profit of 1,000 pesos a year? Then issue is, the goal is too small. Go back to the drawing board and ask this question. What is it that we want to become in our business? What outcome that we want to have at the end of our business? Begin with the end in mind. What is that profit that you want to achieve? How much? Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Here's my question to you. Bro, what's your name again?
Koi, sir.
Koi.
Yes, sir.
Koi. 5 years later, you look back and I want you to think of the future, right? This is 5 years now. This is 2026. So 2031. In 2031, at June 24th, we are in this room again. Your partner is next to you, and both of you are happily partnered in your business. It looks super good. You are living the life of your life. The money is good. How much money does that look like?
3 billion, sir.
3 billion in profit.
Yes, sir.
And 3 billion in profit, if you divide by 5 years, in every year, how much must you achieve? 800 million. Then maybe that could be the foundation of the conversation of the goal. Start with that first. We go focus on the methodology while we don't know our outcome that we want. It's like you are trying to say, should I take an aeroplane, a helicopter, a car, motorcycle, or walk? Where are you going? I'm not sure. Which is the better one? That you start arguing. Can you understand? Can you see the scenario? You're not arguing, I should take the motorcycle. No, it's the car. No, it's the aeroplane, helicopter. Where are you going to go? I don't know. Can you see this conversation? Is that helping you today? Yeah, so the conversation you need to go back today is what's the goal, the profit goal that you want. Or I don't want to be a profit goal, I want to be a non-profit. That's okay. I mean, that's your life, not my life. Yeah. My mother-in-law demand of me higher than you. Does that answer your question, Koi? Right. Another question, please. Any other questions? Let's go, man. Any questions? Yes, over there, please. Go ahead, ma'am. If you don't mind, if you don't mind just speaking louder a bit, I can hear you.
Let's say someone is extremely time-starved. What would be your number one, or maybe the two steps you think are what they would focus on? Okay, let's just add something else. What if they're good at making leads? What if they're good at making leads and having listings, but then they fall at the part that the leverage part, they're not doing very well? If they're very time-starved, what's the lowest barrier to entry that they could do at the leverage portion? What would be your advice?
Good question. So, let me rephrase it. I have a lot of leads, I have a lot of listings, but I have no time to do the appointments and I have no time to meet people. Yes. Awesome. Go find someone that can help you meet people. That's it. If you have enough leads and listings, partner with someone. Partner with someone. That's one option. Second option, ask yourself which market that I should focus on in Almond. Is your listings all in one place or one segment, or is everywhere? Demographically and segmentally. Are they, like, for example, they're all luxury, or they're luxury, social homes, everything all in one? How does the listing look like?
They're all in mid.
All in mid-level. Awesome. So you have to ask yourself this question. Get your economic model first. Understanding how much you need to do in order to achieve your goal. That's your first goal. You need to know that number. Then you ask yourself, how much time do I need to spend on a daily basis to do those appointments, and how many appointments can I go on to? If I can afford 5 appointments a week, great. My goal requires me to do 10. Who's going to do that 5 for me? You will get that number clear first. Does that make sense? If you're clear of that number, that will help you achieve your goal. Maybe you'll be surprised. Oh, actually, I don't need much. I don't know again. Not understanding your number. If I ever have time for CDO again, you can sit down and talk to me. I can map it out for you and you can take a look. What's that in time? I've seen many people, I work with many single moms. I was just in Mongolia 2 weeks ago. I was very surprised. 50%, again, this is just a perspective for you to understand. 50% of the women in our agents in our company were single moms at the average age of 24 years old. And they have to juggle. It's hard. So the question that we gave them in our models is, if you know this is the time that you have, what is it in your time, in your calendar, in your schedule that you can afford to use for business? Be clear about that. You are starved for time, but do you still have time? My question to you, is there still time available? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes. Are you clear where is that time slot available?
My kid is not.
Sorry?
My kid is not.
Your kid is not.
Because he's a toddler, so
Right.
I don't know when he's gonna act out.
Right. But there is certain support that you can consider bringing in leverage to. You probably need leverage for your kid more than your business. Correct? You probably need more leverage for it. So the question is, what's the cost of leverage for my kid so that I can have more time to go do my business? And you have to get very clear, what's the amount of time I can use in order to do my business. So work on your calendar. Number one, once you know your number. Number two, look at your calendar. What time can you use? What is it that you can do? Or third thing is, I partner with someone. I can do the phone calls, I can set the appointments, I can get the listings, I can get the leads. I just need someone to do the showings. Anyone in this room, how many of you, let's do a test here. Sorry, I didn't get your name. You are?
Sorry, what?
Your name?
Dominic.
Dominic. So, Dominic, let's do a test in this room. How many of you are willing to pay 50% of your commission if I get you a listing, I set an appointment for you to go and view the buyer with the buyer, and I negotiate for you for 50%? Would you pay me 50% now? How many? The reality of it, Dominic, most real estate agents are quite lazy. Number one. Number two, they are very stingy. They only want to pay money when they have money. They only want to pay money when they make money, correct? Yes. So you have a room of people here right now that potentially can support you to build your business while you're taking care of your toddler. It is possible. I want you to see this is just a test, right? Now let's do another test. How many of you are willing to do it for 60%? You get 60%, she gets 40%. How many are willing to do it? Is that helpful? Dominic, are you seeing the perspective?
Yeah, I get an idea.
Yeah, that's what you do. Play to your strength. You have weaknesses. We all have curveballs in our life. We all have challenges in our life. But doesn't mean you can't go around it. Which means we have to have concessions in certain things to get us to achieve our goal. If it costs you, you can never gain more time, but you can buy time. You can buy other people's time. You cannot buy more time for yourself, but you can always buy someone else's time. Right? So that's the opportunity for you. If you're good at listings, good at generating leads, setting the appointments for people, find a few people that will do the viewing for you. And you shouldn't pay them 50%, you should pay them lesser. Because that's the easy job. Showing houses is the easy job. Do you agree? It's the easy job. Getting the leads, getting the listing, pricing it correctly, setting the appointment, you go open the door and show the viewing. Dude, the Grab driver could do that, man. Maybe you should partner with a Grab driver. Right. Answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
Hi,
much.
good afternoon. I'm Ching. I'm a noob. I just joined TWR for 6 months.
Right.
So my question is, I've learned about the economic model and the lead generation. My challenge to these days, after 6 months, although I've made some sales, is closing and getting more people to purchase or to buy some houses.
Right.
Yep. So basically, more on closing. I'm
So-
really having a hard time.
Sorry, what's your
doing the
question
business.
again? You have a challenge in converting the buyers to buy, or you have a finding buyers to buy. I'm not clear.
Closing it in the sense that we've done everything already. Right now they're on Zine Zone.
They're what? Sorry.
Zine Zone.
What's that?
They're just that we already done the site tours and everything. They did the buyers sheets and stuff.
Right.
But they haven't paid the down payment yet.
Right.
So that's my challenge right now.
Ah, that's ghosting you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, ghosting.
So, I got good news and I got bad news. You want to start this one first? Good news or bad news first? Bad news, you cannot control people's behavior. They want to ghost you for whatever reason, they will ghost you. Good news is, you go find more people that wants to buy. So, look, hang on. This is a very important point. We live in a life today that we have things that we can control and we cannot control. Do you agree? Right now, I cannot control if that person wants to ghost me. But I can clarify why. I can seek to understand first. I can try to understand where that person is and maybe he's not ready and when he's ready. So you ask the 3 questions: why are you buying? How soon must you buy? What's stopping you from buying? Now if you understand it, do you know the answers to those 3 questions?
Yes, in fact, I already asked that
Right.
Because I have good mentors in the team.
Right.
And so yeah, they have answered it, but you know, Filipinos, they're like,
Yes, they don't like to tell you the
they
truth.
don't tell.
I know. This afternoon I learned that here, I know. So it's something you can't control. You just can't control. Right? So if you are trying to find a way to control something you can't control, it's almost going to in the mode of being insane. It's it's like this, man. It's like this is a joke here. So don't be angry, don't stone me. It's like I'm trying to make sure that Cebu Pacific don't delay my flight. Please make sure that the flight is not delayed. And it's Cebu Pacific. Now 4 out of 5 times has been delayed in my experience so far. What can I do? Either I choose that flight, find another flight, or accept it. Now I would say the latter, accept it, find someone else. You cannot control something you cannot control. What you can control is go find more people. The problem we have today is we bang on this particular lead, oh this is a good lead, it's a hot lead, let's just get hot leads. The issue is not convincing this person, the issue is not this guy ghosting us, the issue is we don't have enough leads. Right? And the reality of life in our business, there will never be enough leads. So my question to you is your engine of generating leads consistently every day, every week, every month that you're hitting your goal.
I'm trying to maintain the 50-25-5 but yeah, it's very exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to do it. Sometimes I retired early because I wanted an 8-hour job, but right now it's more than that.
Welcome to the world of real estate. Your ideal life of being flexible is now a myth. That's the reality. Now, but question, do you make more money than a full-time job if you do well here?
Definitely.
So is that okay?
Yes.
So that's the answer.
Yeah, but I'm more on the, I already have set higher bar with my KPI.
Right.
So that's what frustrates me now.
It's okay. But over time you'll be better. So if you watch NBA sports, right? The game is how long? 90 minutes. How many minutes is a basketball game? 60 minutes, right? One game.
Yes. One.
The timer is 60 minutes. Is the work on the court more intense than the work off the court?
Off the court.
We spend 5 days off the court to prepare for the 60 minutes on the court.
Yes.
And that's why they are the best in the world. It's not what they do on the court that matters, it was what they do off the court that matters. It's time over task. It's very simple. But we think we want the glory, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about in general, we expect the glory without the work. And then we got this mismatched expectation. Why is it so hard? I don't have an answer to the question, but that's just the way it is. Why must they go and do strength training, practice, and do all these things just to play 60 minutes? Why can't they do it easier? Unfortunately, all the successful people are doing the same thing. Most real estate agents, I got a friend in Dallas, Texas, his name is Lance Loken. He's a team of 70 OA agents. 1 year he does 3,000 transactions. 3,000 transactions. And he does the same thing over and over again for the last 20 years. Nothing has changed. Just the number of frequency, intensity, his skills develop, he gets better at what he does, but he does the same thing over and over again. Success is boring, it's never exciting. We thought it's a sexy thing. Sorry, man. That is Netflix. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Next question, please. Thank you. Any more questions? Any more questions? What are some of your ahas that you learned from this session today? Did you learn something today? Yes. Was it valuable in your time here today? Yes. Okay, what did you learn? Can you please share? Anyone want to share what did you learn today and what you're trying to do today? What would you do from what you learned today? Anyone? Anyone want to share? Anybody? Any brave souls? How you behave in this room will determine how you behave outside of this room. Yes?
So of course, we add value to everything we do. But my question is, how can a client trust us, or how can we build trust with our client? Because this is coming from my experience where I've already done everything that my mentor told me, everything. But then someone from other real estate, realty, came to me and asked me about the product. And then right after that, I just finally found out that that person has the same client as I do. So how can that client trust me that I'm the right agent for,
Right. Awesome, good question. So the question is, why did I lose out to the other agent? Correct? Right.
And the most surprising part is that that client came back to me and asked me another listing, and
Right.
then he comes back and forth. So how can he, of course we can't control anything.
Right.
But
Awesome. So here's the hard truth. And the reality is this. The client will never be loyal to you. I'm sorry to break the news. Because if the client is loyal to you, you'll be loyal to your vendors, you'll be pumping petrol and gasoline in that one particular petrol station. You only eat in one restaurant. You only do one thing with one person for the rest of your life. Do you do that? No. Clients are only loyal to your standards and the value you offer to them. And the reality is, standards and value is a dynamic thing, not a static thing. It changes along the way. Maybe that agent, I don't know again, assuming the scenario without knowing the situation, maybe the agent say, I could get you at a cheaper price. Would the buyer swing over right now? Why? Because why? Buyer want to buy low, owner want to sell high, agent want to sell fast. Right? So to the client, that value is high. I will go to the person that can give me the best win for me. All clients do that. 99.99 clients do that, including you and I. Right? So first thing first, you must understand, clients are not loyal to you, they are loyal to the standards and the value you bring to them. Second point. It is a competition. It's about competing. I encourage you to have this perspective and mindset that you have to fight and compete for every transaction. There are friendly competition and sometimes not so friendly competition. And you just have to accept it. The best people in this industry, I have a lot of people I competed, I won some, I lost some. The goal is, can I win more than I lose? Number one. Number two, it's a competition. The best man, best woman will win. The person that brings the best value, best offer to the table would win. Relationship is only going to get you so far. That's it. Trust is built because you are able to offer that value, get the deal done, make that person get what he wants, help him achieve his goal. I've got an agent in Malaysia, her name is Joanne. Every time she do a listing presentation, at the end of the listing presentation, she will ask this question. What can I do to make sure that this experience is a 10 out of 10? What can I do to help you so that you can achieve your goal? How can I partner with you as an owner so that we can achieve your goal? In our business, to lock clients is to lock listing. If you control the listing and the inventory, the buyer have no choice to come to you. You can't control both sides. But if you control the listing and the inventory, your chances of you winning is higher actually. That makes sense. So the strategy is, are you controlling the inventory? Are you pricing it correctly? Are you securing exclusive for that particular inventory? That's the value you have to deliver. It's a competition, guys. It's not who see it first. Oh, that's me, I choke first. In Malaysia, we call choke. Means I see you, I tap you, you are mine forever. Till death do us part. It doesn't exist that way. That's the wrong thinking, man. for some reason, I like to use this word, and excuse me for saying it, it's a perversion of the truth. It's not real. But somehow we stay in this lie to say that that's real, but that's not true. Nobody is going to be loyal to you. Maybe your family members will try. Close friends may try. But if someone gives a deal 20% better than them, if you truly care for them, would you ask them to go there? How do you compete? It's a competition. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
It's a competition, yes.
Can I add one more?
Sure.
So, since you already know about that client, would you still, if you were the real estate agent, would you still give time to that client if he comes back to you?
So first question I'll ask him, Mr. Client, thank you so much for coming back. Can I ask you, why did you leave? No, I'm serious. Help me understand why you choose him or her other than me. Find out. Be curious. And you'll be surprised with the answer. You'll be very surprised with the answer. Find out why. Because if you don't know why, it's an assumption that guy is a bad guy. He's a crook. He cheated me. What did he cheat you? He didn't. He just chose someone else. Is there did you enter a contract with him that once I show you, you must buy from me? Was there a contract signed? No. So there's no commitment, right? So we are still free, right? So did he do anything wrong? People always tell me, oh, that's an ethical issue. Are you sure? So you're going to find out. First thing, find out why. Why did you do that? What is it that I didn't do that I didn't earn the right to be in business with you? Ask that question. When you ask that question, number one, you build respect. Number two, you're trying to tell him what's going on, man. And you're trying to really fact find what's happening. The intention is you're curious. Start with curiosity. And you'll be surprised with the answers that you get. Once you get those answers, then you realize why. And you'll tell you why. But again, like you say, Filipinos don't tell the truth. But you try, right? You seek first, right? And see what happens. Then you got a choice. Do you think it's someone that you want to spend time with? Or you think someone that's not going to value you? You have a choice. Because I, as an agent, I have a choice to choose my clients. It's up to me how I decide. So that power belongs to you. Does that answer your question? Right. Next question, please. Any other questions? We still got a bit of time. Any other questions? There's a question there. Yes, go ahead.
Sir.
Yes, sir. There's a question over here. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. Yes.
Sir, what's the biggest deal you've done, sir? What's the biggest deal you've done? To inspire us.
The biggest transaction I've done before is not that big. It's about, trying to convert in US dollars, maybe 17 million US dollars. It's not big. In my country, that's not big. It's okay, but it's not big. Is that exciting for me? No. It's not exciting for me. For me, it's not exciting. Because what's exciting for me is when someone like Dominic, 1 year later come and tell me, John, thank you so much for the tip. Now I've timed my toddler and I just make this money to fund my life. That's exciting for me. So you got to find your big why and your purpose. And everyone's going to be different. And you got to understand what you want to become at the end of the year, at the end of the day. What is it that you want to become? Go find that. But I want to tell you this. One of the exciting things I think I did was when I hit that 16 transactions a month. That was exciting. It's consistent. When I built consistency in my business, that was exciting. When I'm able to fund my life, my son's life, my family's life, my father-in-law's life, that was exciting. When I bought a house with my parents, and I said, this is the key to the house, I bought for you, fully paid, you go stay there. That's exciting. What makes us move forward and succeed, it's not the skill, it's not the experience of selling, it's the why we do what we do. We are powered by a big why. we are wired in a way, motivation is wired because there is a purpose behind it. And we are all creatures of purpose. The way we are designed is that we are driven by purpose. Because you meet a guy with a clear purpose. Oh, good movie. Did you watch the movie called John Wick? If you watch the first John Wick movie, the guy say he's a man of purpose. He can kill someone with a pencil. Because it's very clear what is his purpose. So when a person is highly clear of his purpose and his big why and is driven by that, he will find a way to make it work. Your goal to be motivated is to find your purpose and keep doing everything that you need to do on a consistent basis. The word motivation is it derives from two keywords: motive, action. We think motivation is an emotional state, but motivation is a mechanical and physical state. Let me give you an example. How many of you go to the gym? Just go lah, you don't do anything there. So if you go to the gym, what's the difference with someone that has a coach and no coach? What does the coach do? The coach teach you techniques, maybe a little bit. Correction, what else? You can do 5 more, you can do 10 more, you can do 5 more, you can do 10 more. Actually, right, the job of a fitness coach, right, again, no offense to any fitness coach here, it's not that complicated. It's standing there, holding accountable, pushing the person to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And one day it becomes so natural, the unnatural becomes the natural, the conscious becomes subconscious. And then you begin to say, this is a normal thing that I'm doing right now. It's a normal thing. I don't feel tired anymore. It's a normal thing. I could stand here and talk until 12 midnight, man. No problem. I've done it enough. Why? Because I keep doing it again and again. This lecture, I have told this story 1,000 times. I didn't have new stories to tell. Right? Maybe Dominic will give me a new story one day to tell. It's a time over task journey. It's about action. So motive means you are clear of the reason why you're doing it and you're taking action becomes motivation. We got confused. We thought we go in a seminar, walk on the fire. After 3 days, you feel so good. Day 4, we come home, what happens? I promise you today, you will feel nice. You feel, wow, this is so motivating, man. Great. What happened tomorrow? It goes back to original. Why? Because there is no action. Worst case, I don't know my motive. Therefore, I cannot take action with a right motive. I have no motivation. That's the reason. So be clear. Think of your big why you are doing this, why you wake up every morning and you do this. What's that big why? What's the one that fuels you from doing this day and night? That even you feel tired, you will still go in. Even in bad days, I will still keep going on. What is that? Find that, be clear with that, tell someone about it, get someone to hold you accountable, and you'll be action. Then you take the action as necessary. That's it. Does that answer your question? Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? I have a question. Yes, there's a question. Yes, go ahead. Dominic, go ahead.
How do you think AI will change the landscape of real estate? And how can we prepare?
I apologize. Can you repeat that? I didn't get the first part.
What do you think is AI? How do you think AI is going to change the landscape?
Great question.
How we do things and how can we
Can you help me?
prepare for it?
Thank you. John, help me again. Thank you, John. John is behaving like my AI right now. So assuming John is my AI right now, and I tell AI, John, wipe the board. He wipes the board. Or when John hears me having this conversation, based on the patterns that he has been responding to me now, likely he will kind of anticipate that I want to wipe the board, he will wipe the board for me. What does that mean? AI, again, when I mentioned this afternoon, there is 2 roles, functionary and fiduciary. So, this is AI. This is better be you. The world is having 2 groups of people. There is a group of people out there who is trying to use technology to do this part and potentially do most of this part. They are still failing until today. It's hard. Because why? Let me tell you why. As I said, the journey of a real estate transaction, it's a very emotional journey. We use emotions to justify our logic. Either way. As an investor, it's still an emotional decision. The joy and euphoria of making money is the emotion that we have to motivate us to make the decision. Do you agree? An investor doesn't buy because I wake up in the morning, I'm built to buy. No, they want to buy because they are emotionally motivated to make more money, to do something or whatever they want to do. So it's still an emotional journey. So when you look at the whole industry today, why I say 29% of agents in the US is transacting everything, 71% is not. It's because those agents that is using this now have more time to do this. They're now talking to more people, building more relationship, while others are still manually doing this themselves. There are people in this market, in Philippines, in our KW system, we have the highest inbound referrals in the world. So many OFWs coming in to sell or to buy their properties here. How they do it? Digitally. The journey starts digitally. How do you do this? Today AI can help you. Here's how it looks like. I talk about the 33 touches just now, right? You touch them 33 times in 1 year. It used to be very manually done. I got to think about what to write. Today, you go to Gemini Pro, ChatGPT, Claude, you say this, the prompt is this. This is the $1 Million Real Estate Agent book. Based on this model, I want to create a 33 touch point to my client that is from abroad who are OFWs that's interested in SEBO and CDO. Please create a 33 touch point messaging for me right now. Minutes in seconds, it will come out. Please, right now I'm attaching my database, which is a spreadsheet. I'm attaching the database into my Claude or into my Gemini Pro, into the assistant that I created. Based on my database right now, based on my listings I have in my database, which client will be interested right now? He will tell you if your database is cleanly entered in. Those are functionary roles. This still requires, because once the guy says I'm interested, let's have a conversation, let's go through the contract, let's talk about stuff. There are many stuff that you and I wouldn't know how to anticipate, so the technology cannot anticipate, so there needs to be a conversation. Here is the conversation. If you want to be successful, use AI to work on the functionary roles, and you focus on the fiduciary roles. That's the world we live in. We are going to come to a point where there are lesser agents in the market. There's displacement in the market because, not because of technology, it's because of people that is using technology. The market will change, it's already changed, and it's already changed. It's already changed. There are agents right now who is using AI to build their business. And the reality is this, we think this is it's rocket science, actually it's not. It's us treating AI like John. It's like how you have conversation with John, you have conversation with your AI chatbot. Because that's how it is. And guess what today? Clients are using AI to find information. They are no longer using Google. And Google itself is now searching AI mode. If you go AI mode, if you just search, immediately it comes out AI mode first, right? Correct? Right. So, meaning, if you have no digital footprint in the market today, the AI cannot see you. And how digital footprint, why content creation is important today? Because it's a digital footprint world. The AI don't know who is the best agent. It only knows people that put a lot of content, tell people the story, put the keywords in, have a lot of content, consistently show up. Then they will seem to be the person that's interested. So here is this. You have two groups of agents. One agent that is highly ethical. He is licensed. He is good. He's a good person, but he sucks at marketing. He is not a real estate agent. He's a secret agent. Because nobody knows him. You have another guy, you like to call him the colorum. See, I know a little bit of Filipino things. And you call, and then he doesn't, he's not, potentially not, maybe not ethical, that is subjective. He probably a newbie in the business, but he's very good at marketing and creating content. Suddenly he's a real estate agent. And that's how the digital footprint works today. It's that world. And the reason why 71% of the agents in the US are not doing it well because they don't understand this. They all still become secret agent. So you're a real estate agent or a secret agent, you have to be understand. So that's AI. And it's now. It's not later, it's not 2 weeks later, 2 years, it's already happening now. 2 years, 1 year ago, that ability to do some of these things is not there. Today, I can create a report for CDO. I can go to the market and tell my clients I'm an expert in CDO while I'm a Malaysian by asking AI, please create a market for me in Uptown, a market report in the last 24 months of the Uptown market for residential property, focusing on the market between 5 million pesos to 20 million pesos, tell me the trends. It will come up a 5-page report for me just like that. Now I'm seen as an expert. That's leverage. That's the AI that you are using right now. But you still need to go and talk to someone. You got to bring the information and have a conversation with someone. Right? This is so helpful today. You can do so many things today. You can do designs, you can do posters, flyers, touch points, email response. You can even connect your Gmail to your Gemini Pro and ask them to email for you on your behalf. It can be done now. It's now. Not later, it's now. People are doing that now. So answer your question. It's actually quite scary. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, any more questions? Any other questions? Any last few questions? Was it helpful for you today? Yes or yes? Did you learn something today?
Yes.
Was it valuable today?
Yes.
Thank you so much for being a good audience. Thank you so much for your time. I hope it's a good time for you. Thank you TWR for giving me the opportunity. Thank you so much.